9 feet wide wingspan, about the same width as that tan canopy on the truck above your heads.
What'd you do? You pressed the stop button. I don't know what you did.
Left on the hill, a black rhinoceros. They weigh about 3,000 pounds.
I don't see anything.
It's only about. Some people believe their horns contain medicinal properties or have some kind of magical use to them. However, none of that's true. Their horns are made of keratin like our fingernails. No reason they should be poached whatsoever. Rhinos have no natural predators, as long as 8 minutes at a time underneath the water before they come up for a breath. I see 2 hippos up ahead on the right side. As they bathe in the sun, their bodies look a little bit red or pink in color. Their skin oozes a natural thick substance that acts as a sunscreen for them. It's also believed to help protect any wounds from getting infected from the wild waters they live in. I'll pull up more in just a second so you can see there was a pink-backed pelican crossing the road. So, pink-backed pelicans get their name for a pink color they get during mating season. Their wingspan is about 9 feet wide, same as a saddle-billed stork, so it's the really big white birds with the big beaks. Also, a group of hippos on the left. A group of hippos is called animals that live near the water. They can do things like recycling, properly disposing of any waste, any soaps, shampoos, cleaning chemicals, making sure they're eco-friendly to prevent harmful chemicals entering the waterways. There, you'll see them on the island. And also on the left, Nile crocodile. They grow about 16 feet in length, about the same length as giraffe are tall. They weigh about 500 pounds. Fully seated at all times, guys. Thank you so much. So they can go months without food. Usually they'll consume one huge amount once per week, up to about 500 body weight to 1,000 pounds per square inch of power when they bite down. Crocodiles are cold-blooded, so to warm up and get energy, water source, food source, and shelter for the animals. Its trunk can hold about 2,000 gallons of water, and the animals will dig at the tree to get water from the inside. It's also known as an upside-down tree because its branches kind of look like roots facing up toward the sky. So the group of zebras is called a dazzle. These are Hartsman mountain zebra. Males weigh about 750 pounds. Each one of their stripe patterns is different like a fingerprint. There's 2 baby zebras on our reserve. One's a boy, one's a girl. Here's one of the babies here. And one of the other babies is up ahead. Also, this next animal will be a little bit tricky to see, but I'll point it out for you in case you're able to spot it. So over on the left, behind the cave, to the right of the cave, behind it, laying in the grass, there's some African wild dogs. They're laying down. African wild dogs are one of the most successful predators. They can run about 40 miles per hour for about 3.5 miles without getting tired. They're also known as painted dogs with their very unique markings, which are so unique they can tell each other apart that way, even from a distance. Each one of their coats is different like a finger stripes. On the far left, sable antelope. They're the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. That's because they usually won't flee from any danger. They'll stand their ground and fight to protect themselves, just like we want to fight to protect the animals on the reserve. They're a very territorial animal, while the Hartsman Mountain zebra are opposite. They're a very social, non-territorial species of zebra. So the sable antelope will kind of stay in the same spot all day and kind of protect it, while the zebras, the Hartsman Mountain zebras, they're all over the place. They'll hang out with all the other animals and get along very well. Not all zebras are like that though. So if you look very closely at the zebra's neck, they have a little dewlap there. It helps to regulate their body temperature. Hartsman Mountain zebras are the only species of zebra that has that there, so that's a way that you can tell them apart. So all those tall orange cones are termite mounds. They're made of dung, saliva, and dirt. Elephants love to use them as scratching posts. Smaller animals and creatures like lizards, scorpions, and ants will use them as shelter from bad weather, to hide from predators, maybe as a lookout post. All kinds of cool things the termites provide just by making those. So even the 15 minutes of being born, giraffes can stand and walk within just an hour of being born. A lot of African hoofstock are able to stand and walk very quickly because they're prey animals that will help them to escape from any danger. The wildebeest and 1.5 million other animals, each year they'll migrate about 500 to 1,000 miles. The wildebeest can go about 5 days without drinking any water. So they're the gray animals. And then once they turn, you'll see a lot of small tan animals. Those are springbok. Springbok get their name for their ability to spring up in the air about 6 feet. They'll do that repeatedly whenever they're frightened or excited. They can reach speeds of 50 to 60 miles per hour, almost as fast as a cheetah. A group of giraffes is called a tower because they're the tallest animals in the world. The tallest living giraffe is 18 feet tall and 5 inches. Even a baby giraffe is about 6 feet tall. Within just an hour of being born, they're able to stand and walk. Here, just like their relative okapi, they have a super long tongue. Their tongue is so long it's about the same length as my forearm, from my elbow all the way to my fingertips. And their tongue is a dark purplish black color that helps prevent sunburn on their tongue because they spend about 16 to 20 hours per day eating. So they're always walking around, browsing the trees like this all day long. And they don't get too much sleep, only about 30 minutes of sleep or so, and a few minutes at a time on and off throughout the day. Usually standing up all the time even when they sleep, but not very often you'll see them laying down. If you do see them laying down, it just means they feel a little bit extra peaceful and relaxed in their environment. Right, an African elephant. Fun little way that you can tell them apart. Their ears are shaped like the continent of Africa. They love to flap their ears to cool themselves down. That creates an air current over the blood vessels in the back of their ears and can cool their bodies by about 15 degrees whenever they do that. Also, when they flap their ears, it can mean they're excited or happy, and the noise it makes can help them to communicate with other elephants that are nearby. So the elephants love to break down the trees to get some nutrients from them. However, because of their habitat loss, they started getting pushed into areas they really should not have been into to try to find some food. They started to raid farmers' crops in Africa. They were just looking for some food. They didn't mean any harm. You know, they're hungry. They can't help loss their habitat. For about 42 gallons of water a day. Sometimes you'll see them tossing mud and dirt up onto their body. They do that to cool off, make a natural sunscreen, and to protect from the bugs too. Their skin looks really strong, but it's super sensitive, so sensitive they can feel a single fly land on their back. So there's many things that we could do to help out all the animals. Might sound a little bit overwhelming if you don't know where to start. So my task for you is just to figure out what animal is your favorite and start there. Find one or two simple things you think you might be able to do. So a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. These are greater flamingos. They're the largest, tallest, and lightest in color of the flamingo species. They get their very light pink color from their diet. They eat a lot of tiny red shrimp and other aquatic creatures that are high in a protein called carotene that helps to give their light pink color. See if you can spot any gray flamingos. Those are baby flamingos. They're a few months old. They don't have their light pink color yet. A reserve like this is one of the only places that you're still able to see them, so that's a reminder how important it is to help the animals out and spread awareness for them. So ostrich are the largest birds in the world. They're flightless, but these are big wings to help direct themselves when running. They can run about 40 miles per hour and take about 10 to 16 feet in a single stride with their super long legs. Also, the mud kind of looks like some rhinos might have been rolling around in the mud, so see if we spot any. Actually, it looks like there's one over on the right side. And a bontebok, which is a relative to the wildebeest. Just like the wildebeest, they can stand and walk within just 15 minutes of being born. So white rhinoceros weigh about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. All rhinos are super strong and powerful. They can run about 35 miles per hour and gallop just like horses do, with all 4 feet off the ground at the same time. That rhino that's closest to us, he's a male. He just recently became a dad, so he's a little bit tired. There was one baby boy, cheetah. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals, reaching speeds of 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. They can only maintain very high speeds for a couple hundred yards due to exhaustion. Quick bursts of energy and great eyesight make the cheetahs excellent hunters. They'll do most of their hunting during the daytime. They have some black lines from their eyes down to their mouth. Those are called cheetah tear marks. They help to reflect the sun and protect their eyes. 15 to 20 hours per day resting and conserving energy for their big hunts late at night. During the day, humans and lions can see equally as well. At night, they can see 6 times stronger than us. Their roar can be heard from about 5 miles away. I'll let you know if I see any. I don't see anything at the moment. On the right, you can see the rhinos there. A group of rhinos. So, looks like it's a male lion. His mane can weigh up to about 40 pounds. Usually there's 2 females that like to hang out with him. We'll hang out for a second, see if they come around. Oh, actually there's a female behind him, but she's laying down in the grass, so it's a little bit tricky to see. Within the last 25 years, the world has lost about 50% of the lion population. There's about 20,000 left in the wild. They face things like poaching and habitat loss. To help out, Disney teamed up with the Lion Recovery Fund. They started what's called Protect the Pride Project. They're hoping to double the lion population by about 2050 and help them out with those threats that they're facing. Two pairs of tusks. They'll use their tusks along with their snout and their feet to burrow all those holes into the ground. When they go to sleep, they'll back into those holes with their razor sharp tusks facing outward. They're very territorial. Pumbaa translates to foolish one, however, they are very intelligent. They're also very good conservationists. If they see some holes burrowed into the ground already, they'll use those instead of making new ones. Also, one more fact about them, they're the cutest animal on the reserve. So over on the right side, you can see the pounds, and they're so strong that a grown adult can stand on one and not crack it. Oh, listen.